In Israel, military service is mandatory for most citizens, including women, and the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, is known for being one of the few military groups in the world that requires women to join. Women have been part of the IDF since its founding in 1948, and they serve in many different roles. They can be combat soldiers, pilots, intelligence officers, medics, and more. Today they make up about 1/3 of all soldiers in the IDF. In this video, we will tell you in detail about the Israeli female soldiers. Let's get started. Early roles and contributions. Initially, women's roles in the IDF were largely restricted to what were traditionally seen as feminine positions. These included office workers, nurses, and teachers. Women were allowed to serve only in these capacities, reflecting social views on gender roles at the time. However, the situation began to change after the 1973 Yom Kippur War, when new roles were opened to women, primarily to free men for combat duties. This marked the beginning of a slow but steady transformation in the IDF's approach to gender integration. In the early years, women conscripts served in the Women's Corps, commonly known by its Hebrew acronym, CHEN. After 5 weeks of basic training, they were assigned to various roles such as clerks, drivers, welfare workers, nurses, radio operators, flight controllers, ordnance personnel, and course instructors. These positions, while essential, were largely supportive and non-combatant, reinforcing traditional gender roles within the military structure. Legislative changes and increased opportunities. Significant progress was made with the 2000 Equality Amendment to the Military Service Law, which stated that the right of women to serve in any role in the IDF is equal to the right of men. This legal change was a landmark in the pursuit of gender equality within the IDF. By 2011, 88% of all roles in the IDF were open to female candidates, although women were found in only 69% of all positions. Despite these advancements, the IDF reported in 2014 that fewer than 4% of women were in combat positions, such as light infantry, helicopter pilots, or fighter pilots. Instead, most women were concentrated in combat support roles. The Alice Miller case in 1995 was another significant milestone. Alice Miller, an Israeli woman, challenged the IDF's policies after being denied the opportunity to become a pilot due to her gender. The High Court of Justice ruled in her favor, establishing the principle that women had the right to equality in their military service, both formally and practically. This ruling opened the door for women to serve in various combat positions, and over the years, the IDF has gradually expanded the roles available to women. Evolution of combat roles for women. Combat roles for women in the IDF have evolved significantly since the mid-1990s. In 1995, women were first allowed to train as pilots. The following year, they could serve as combat soldiers in the border police, and by 1997, they could join anti-aircraft units and serve as naval officers. The year 2000 saw the creation of the Caracal Unit, a mixed-gender infantry battalion tasked with border protection duties. Subsequent years saw further integration, with women joining the Combat Rescue, Evacuation, and Airborne Medicine Unit, the Artillery Corps, and the Field Intelligence Collection Unit. By 2015, women were serving in the Lions of the Jordan Valley Unit, and by 2017, in the Lion of the Valley Unit. In 2018, the first 5 women were recruited to combat Navy positions on the INS Eilat, a SAR 6 class corvette. This marked a significant milestone as women began to take on more diverse and challenging roles within the IDF. But even with these improvements, it hasn't been easy for women to take on combat jobs. Problems have come up because of physical needs, societal views, and institutional resistance. In any case, these brave women's hard work and determination have made the way for future generations. The fact that they were successful in these jobs shows that women can do well in combat situations, which goes against gender norms and stereotypes. Leadership and command positions. Women have made progress in the IDF in more than just combat jobs. They have also made big steps forward in places of leadership and command. In 2019, one woman was made captain of an intelligence unit, and another was made battalion leader in the Northern Bashan Regiment, which is a regular army unit. In May 2020, The first female battalion leader in the Artillery Corps was appointed, which was another important event. These choices show that the IDF is still committed to equal rights for men and women and believes that women can be good leaders. Women are getting promoted to high places in the IDF, which shows how skilled, dedicated, and good at leading others they are. For young female fighters, these women are role models who make them want to join the military and do their best. Current status and challenges. As of 2021, women make up about 40% of the IDF's conscript soldiers and about 25% of the officer corps. Despite the mandatory nature of the draft law, the average rate of enlistment for women has been about 58%, which is relatively low compared to the enlistment rate for men, which stands at about 75%. This discrepancy highlights ongoing challenges in achieving full gender equality within the IDF. Social attitudes, religious beliefs, and traditional gender roles continue to influence women's participation in the military. For instance, the Security Service Law, enacted in 1949, allows women to apply for discharge from the Army for religious and conscientious reasons, as well as for reasons related to parenting, marriage, and pregnancy. These provisions reflect societal norms and the balancing act women must perform between their military duties and personal lives. Moreover, the physical demands of certain combat roles pose additional challenges. While the IDF has made significant strides in accommodating and supporting female soldiers, the physical standards required for certain positions remain a barrier for some. Addressing these challenges requires a nuanced approach that balances the need for operational effectiveness with the principles of gender equality and inclusivity. The impact of social processes. The integration of women into the IDF has been shaped by three main factors: the perception of the IDF as a people's army, security needs, and social processes that either contribute to or undermine gender equality. The perception of the IDF as a people's army has facilitated the inclusion of women by emphasizing the collective responsibility of all citizens to contribute to national defense. Security needs have also driven the integration of women, particularly during times of conflict when additional personnel are required. However, social processes have had a dual impact. On one hand, movements for gender equality have pushed for greater inclusion of women in various roles. On the other hand, traditional views on gender roles and the influence of religious groups have sometimes hindered progress. The ongoing struggle for gender equality within the IDF reflects broader societal changes and tensions. Efforts to promote gender equality in the military are intertwined with broader movements for social justice and women's rights in Israeli society. These efforts have been bolstered by the success stories of female soldiers and commanders who have demonstrated that women can excel in a wide range of military roles. Future prospects. Looking ahead, the future of women in the IDF seems promising, though challenges remain. The IDF continues to expand opportunities for women, aiming to increase their participation in combat and leadership roles. Ongoing efforts to address gender disparities and create a more inclusive environment are crucial for achieving this goal. Education and awareness programs, mentorship initiatives, and policy reforms are some of the measures being implemented to support women's advancement in the military. Furthermore, the success stories of female soldiers and commanders serve as powerful examples that inspire and encourage more women to pursue careers in the IDF. In addition to these efforts, the IDF is exploring new ways to support female soldiers. This includes adapting training programs to better accommodate the physical needs of women, providing additional resources for balancing military service with family responsibilities, and fostering a culture of respect and inclusivity. These initiatives are aimed at ensuring that women can thrive in the IDF and contribute to its mission effectively. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check our next video.